Hello, everyone, and welcome to, I guess we'll call this episode 2 of our Level 1 Advanced Beginner Ballet classes. On behalf of Canada's National Ballet School, I want to give a big welcome to our adult ballet program, as well as anybody who might be joining us for the first time in this particular episode. If you haven't seen us before, I strongly encourage you to go back to our first ballet class, our Advanced Beginner Level 1 class, and have a look at that one. I think it was very nice, but you can be the judge of that. So today, we're continuing on in the same vein that we have before, sort of trying to improvise our way to make sure that we keep the joy of dance going in our lives with the space that we've got. So from my living room to yours, a big welcome. The music that we're using today, as always, is by the wonderful Rob Thaler, who, as I've said before, I have the great privilege of working with every single day in our professional ballet program, and I'm so excited to use his music. He's just an absolutely wonderful musician, so you can check him out on Apple Music and Spotify. And before we get started, my goodness, I'm forgetting my manners. My name is Ian Parsons, and I am an artistic staff member at Canada's National Ballet School, and a double graduate, as a matter of fact, of both the professional ballet program and the teacher training program for former professional dancers. So now, before we finally get a move on, just a couple of quick safety-related points beforehand. As kind of goes without saying, make sure you have enough space to extend your arms, legs, anything else around you, and not, knock anyone's teeth out or anything like that, and break anything priceless. And also really make sure that the floor that you're dancing on is safe and not too slippery. If you're dancing on something like tile, I would recommend that you put down a yoga mat or something just to give yourself a little bit of extra traction. Let's say if you're dancing in socks. If you're wearing your ballet shoes, let's say you normally come to our ballet classes on campus at Jarvis Street, just be aware that the surface is not too slippery. Sometimes it depends, your shoes, they can get a little bit slippery. However, if they're sort of the rubber soles like I've got, it's usually pretty okay. So, now that we've got all that out of the way, let's get dancing. Now, to get us started today, we're going to do a little warm-up exercise, which, to be nice and easy on our brains, is going to be exactly the same as we did last week, just to make sure that we really have an opportunity to get it right. So, we start on all fours, like so. Here we go, cat and cow. Arch. Again. Really move that spine as much as you can. It's torture time. Oh, that's what I should have written on my sign up there. You're giving me ideas. 6, 7, 8, 4 more counts. How am I doing? Coming down, turning out in first position. Tendu back, right leg. Remember that constant barber pole rotation of that leg that we talked about last week. Curving back. Slowly rolling up. And coming to the bar. Curve that back. we go for the double time, only once. Rising up. Now make sure your second toe joint is the center of your axis for this balance. Now, to start our bar for real, we have our plie exercise. So we begin in first position, arm in preparatory, and we go 5, 6, just a breath of the arm, 8. Now we have the very technical term, hemi, semi, demi. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Hemi plie, this is not a real thing. Very small. 1 and 2 and a little bit more and 4. Now your full demi plie. 5 and 6. Rise. 7. Now leave your arm in first. Grand plie, arm in first. Grand plie and 2 and up 3 and 4. Tendu à la seconde. 5, 6, lower. 7. Same thing in second. So this one is a very small one. Up and even more. And up all the way. Full demi-plie. Up, rise, 7. Hold 8. And grand plie. Without your pants in the way. 2 and up 3 and 4. Bas montant du side. 5. 6, close, 5th front, and 8. You do the same thing in 5th position. So small, up, bigger, up, full demi-plie, rise, 8. Now, no grand plie. We're just going to plie, open the arm, 1, hallelujah, and 3, 4, and tendu, 6, and back to 5th again. 5th front. 8. Arm to first. Port de bras. 1 and 2 forward. 3 and 4. Find that flat back position. 5 and 6. Try saying that 3 times fast. 7 and 8. Head. 1 and 2. Crambre back. Upper spine. 3 and 4 and 5. 6, 7, and 8. To finish. Plies on the first side. Small plie. Even bigger. Your full demi now. Rise. Keep the arm in first, grand plie. Tendu. Breathe. Fix your pants if you need to. Woo! There we go. Full demi. Grand plie. Tendu side, closing 5th front. Same thing again. Full demi. Rise. Now, hallelujah. Tendu side again. Return where you came from. Now, arm to first. Hinging from your hips, flat spine. Coming up. Change your head. Up and back. Open the arm. So before we embark on the second side, just your one little teaching point for this exercise. Now, it's very unusual to do 3 different kinds of demi-plie because we always just think, well, there's one. But actually, you use all the time various degrees of demi-plie depending on what you're doing and depending on how much time you have. So it's really important to sort of explore those 3 different layers. But also, every time you come up, because you come up 3 times within that first little bit of the exercise, you really want to think again about active barber pole legs on the way up. The way down is the easy part. It's on the way up that we really want to think about how flat can I make my thighs at the front there. Now explore those 3 different levels. All the way full demi-plie. Take your eyes. Now, this arm is dragging you forward, but can you keep your back upright? That's the challenge of that arm. Aren't I wicked? Giving you extra challenges. Demi again. Bigger. Full demi. Tendu to close 5th front. Same thing in 5th. Now don't give it all away. You have to save it for the last demi. Now open up your chest. Hallelujah. Tendu side again. 5th front. Spine. Coming up. Changing your head. Up and back. Now, moving along to battement tendu, we're sort of continuing on the same theme that we were working on last week of acknowledging all the joints in your foot so you have a really articulate foot just as much as your hands. So we go 5, 6, and 7, 8. Tendu front. 1. Now, the rest of the leg stays stretched. Just relax your toes. Demi-point. 2 and 3. 4, slow tendu, 5, 6, closing 5th, 7, 8. Now you slide from 1st, 1, 2, back to 5th, 3, 4, 1 more tendu, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Same thing to the side, 1, demi-point, 2, and 3, 4, slow tendu, 5, 6, close 5th front, 7, 8. Slide, 1, 2, slice it back, 3, 4, 1 more tendu, 6, little tendu sandwich there, and 8. To the back, 1, demi-point, and 3, I'll go a little bit faster, 5, 6, close 5th, 8, slide, 1, 2, and 3, 4, another tendu, 6, closing 1st, Now we plie. 1, 2, demi-point. 3, 4, really work that metatarsal. Up. 6, 7, 8. Find your balance if you're feeling brave. 3, 4, open. 5. Woo! Not like that. And 7, 8. Ba-boing. Tendu devant. Slow. 5th. Slide. Back to 5th. One more tendu. Same thing side. Demi. Closing 5th. Slide. Back to 5th. One more tendu. To the back. Slide. One more tendu. Plie. Hop your heels. Ooh, I almost put my arm up. Keep your arms down. Again, really driving the joint of that second toe into the floor. Oh, that was better. Before we head on to the left side of this, I just want to make a quick point about this actually quite difficult sliding to 5th or back to 1st. It's a real workout for your inner thighs to really get that back. But you want to think again, I talk about this barber pole a lot. It's not so much as important, well, turnout is always important, but it's not so much as important in terms of the leg that's actually doing the tendu. When you're doing these slides, I actually want you to think about the leg closest to the bar, because the more you barber pole that leg around, the flatter this edge becomes, and then it makes it much more comfortable for you to slice into that 5th position. So I actually kind of like to think about closing 5th position as one of those lunch meat slicers. You know when you go to the deli section of the grocery store and they have those giant silver machines that do those very, 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 very thin slices of ham or something like that? That's what I want you to think about every time you close 5th. Like you're making a very thin, beautiful slice of prosciutto, not this sort of thick lunchmate kind of cheap ham one. Very, very thin. Tendu devant. Now, nice, beautiful prosciutto. To the back. Your toes don't crack as much as mine just did. So, before we go into our battement jeté, this exercise is facing the bar. I just want to remind you about what I said last week about any kind of arabesque line where you're lifting your leg off the ground, if you take that imaginary sphere inside your chest and slightly move it forward and then ever so slightly roll it upwards so that we're not tipping down towards the floor, you'll feel that lift in your chest to give you the freedom to move your leg up and to the back. So with that in mind, we start our jeté. So facing the bar, in fifth position with your right foot front, we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lift, 2, 3, coup de pied, 4, and out, 2, 3, close 4, 1, jeté. Same thing, hopefully I won't get my numbers mixed up. Close 4, 5, 6, to the back, 2, 3, heel forward, coup de pied derrière, and out, 2, 3, close 4, 5, 6. Now, we tendu back. 1, 2, 3, just a little tiny lift of your heel. 4, 5, 6, one more. 1, 2, 3, close 4, 5, 6. And then you're ready to go on the left. So starting demi-point, I'll face you so you can get a little bit of a better look. So up, 2, 3, and point. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, close 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, ya, da, da, ya, da, da, ya. Closing back to the back. Coup de pied derrière. 2, 3, demi, point, 2, then point, and out. Close 4, 5, 6. And we go 1, 2, 3, little lift. 5, 6. Another 1, 2, 3, close 4, and wait. Demi-point. Front. 4. Out, in, demi. Coup de pied. To the back. Tendu. Little test. Another test. Left side. Notice how I only have 2 fingers on the bar. Tendu. So lucky you don't have to repeat that exercise because we did right and left. But I'm still going to give you my little helpful hint for this one, and then you're very welcome to rewind a little bit and give it another go. But something that I really want you to pay attention to, you'll notice that when we did the exercise, I used the expression a little test. And what I mean is, I'll face you a little bit more. When you take that tendu back and you slightly lift that heel, what we're trying to test is we're trying to test that you're far enough forward onto that leg so that you could lift up into demi-point at any moment. Because if you're hanging out back here, this is not a very good look. Yes, so you want to try and keep your pelvis underneath you as much as possible, so that's why we do that little test. Now, moving along to rond de jambe. We start in first position, and we go 5, 6, 7, 8. Now turn both legs in. Turn in, 2, turn them out. 3, 4, rond de jambe. Front and side and back. A close. Twice more, and side and back. Constantly feeling that barber pole leg. 5, 6, and 7. Guess what? You repeat en dedans. Turn in, 2, turn out, 4, a back, side, front, a back, side, front, a back, side, front, close. Now, we do a scenic tour of all of our port de bras. Going forward, 1, 2, and 3, 4. You can do this in first or fifth if you like. I'll do it in first. 8, and toward the bar. 2, 3, 4. Coming up. 5, 6, 7. Now we'll take the plunge. Combre back with the arm up. 1, 2. Combre back. 3, 4. Recover. 5, 6, 7, 8. Lift coup de pied devant. 1, 2. Just a little test of your balance. Place it on a plie. 5, 6, and finish. And 8. Turning in both legs. Ask yourself, when was the last time you took a breath? I just had to remind myself. Turning out. Back onto dom. First or fifth, port de bras. Toward the bar. Arm down to go back. Coup de pied. Test your balance. Plie. Now, before we move on to the second side, I want to just talk to you briefly about this turn in and then turn out. You don't have to go on a high demi point, just enough to move on the ball of your foot. But the important thing is that you really make sure that that rotation comes from here. So if you can visualize what your femur looks like in its hip socket, I almost want you to imagine that you're trying to breathe a cushion of air inside your hips when you do that. So we feel that length here really nice and tall through our hips so that we can go right from the top as opposed to just cranking it from our heel, and then our foot is not aligned with our knee, and then our kneecap falls off and hits the conductor in the face. No, I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. It's the safe way to go about rotating your legs. Now, right from the top, hold on to your kneecaps. It also helps if you remember that the tendu comes next. Third time. Turning again. On to dom. Down to go back with the arm. Take your balance. Moving along to battement fondu. We have one requisite torture exercise every week. I like to think that this is it. So just grin and bear it. You can curse me as much as you want in the privacy of your own home, but let's give this one a try. Here we go. Battement fondue, starting in 5th. 5, 6, and 7. That should have been just a breath. 8. Lift. Coup de pied. 2. Little test. The same thing that we did in the exercises before. 3, 4. Plie. 5. Fondue to the floor. 7 and 8. Repeat. 1, 2. Little lift. 3, 4. Plie. 5. To the floor. Both knees stretching at the same time. 8. Guess what? Same thing side. 2. Plie. 3. That's not a plie, that's a little test. 5. Now a plie. 6, 7, 8. Again. 1, 2. Little test, but this time you close 5th on demi-point. 5. Face the bar in first. 6. The same leg that you were just using comes to the back. 7, 8. You repeat. 1, 2. Little lift. 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, close 8. One more time. 1, 2, little lift. I told you that leg was going to get a workout. 6, 7. Now on the last count, you put that foot down into a lunge. 8. First arabesque. 1, 2. Feel that reach. 3, 4. Remember, diamonds, ice cream, or money from last week. 7, 8. What are you reaching for? 1, 2. Hold. 3, 4. A little lift. And you can let that arm grow a little bit to finish. And 8. Coup de pied. Little test. Again. Now this one's different, remember? Little lift. Close 5th. First, same leg to the back. Are you forward on that leg? Is your supporting leg burning yet? I know mine is. Lower, reach. Now feel that calm upper body that you'll feel when you stand on one leg again. Push forward. And lift everything a little bit. Never before has there been such an exercise that makes you so happy to do it on the other side. So, before we do this fondue on the other side, again, I really want you to think about that little test moment to really make sure that even when you're standing with your heel on the floor, you have, probably 60 to 70% of your weight, possibly even more, on the ball of your foot, and your heel is just there for support. Yeah, you don't want to be 50-50 because then you have to do what I like to call this giant gear shift over in order to be able to get up onto demi-point. So just really staying on the ball of that foot. I know you want to fast forward, but it's okay, I'm here with you. remember this one's the different one. Rise, face the bar, same foot to the back. I'm feeling like ice cream today, I think. Reach for it! And grow it up tall from the center. So, we continue on to Battement Frappe. Now for this one, unlike last week, I would like us to do it just with a totally pointed foot the whole time, as opposed to doing it with that flex foot, so that we can really concentrate on keeping that thigh still and giving the back of that leg a really good workout in this frappe exercise. So we go 5, 6, 7, 8. We start by going out. Out, a 2 and out, a 4 and 5, a 6, a 7, 8. Now accent in, a 2, in, a 2 and in, a 6, a 7 and a 8. 2 frappes to the front. 1, a 2 and 3, a 4 to the side, a 6 and 7. Close 8, little lift, inside leg, and test. 4, a 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you reverse the whole thing. So we start with accent out. Out, a 2 and out, a 4, out, a 6, 7, accent in, a 2, in, I closed the wrong way first. 8, frappe back, back, a 2 and 3, a 4 to the side, 6 and 7, 8, inside leg, 2, little test, 4, 5, 6, 7, finish. Accent in. Two frappes front. Knee back to the side. Inside leg. Little test. Balance. Close. Pick it up. Out. Accent in. Frappe back. So before we do the left side of this exercise, you'll notice that I've skipped right along ahead to incorporate frappe back. Now, if you're comfortable with doing frappe back, absolutely reverse the exercise. However, if that's not quite in your repertoire yet, I think it would be very well worth it to repeat the whole exercise just front and side again to really get that solid before you progress to the back. Or you can do a little quick turn into the bar and also do the frappe back to there. It's totally up to you with what you feel your comfort level is. Now, before we do the second side, I want you to really think about making sure again that that thigh is staying totally still. You put that thigh in a space hold and it's only your knee that's moving. Remember we talked about last week that sort of loose knee feeling. Wouldn't that be fun if your knee could do that? Anyway, you want to keep that nice loose feeling for those frappes. Accent in. Frappe. inside leg, little test. Try your balance. Accent in. Frappe back, or facing the bar, or front again. Little test. So, next, we have an adage. Starting in 5th position, I don't think this one is quite as torturous as last week. We go 5, 6, and 7, 8. Little releve long only. 1, lift, 2, and 3, 4, close your eyes. 5, you can test your balance if you like. Woo! Not like that. And 7, and 8. Same thing side. 1, lift, 2, you can test now if you like. 3, and 4, take the bar to close your eyes. 5, and 6, and 7, and face the bar. Guess what? 1, and 2, and take your arms off. And 4, close your eyes. 5, 6, sweep. 7, and hands on your sternum. Tendu back to lunge. 1, and 2, and to the ceiling. High release. 4, and 5. Recover with your arms to 3rd. And a dramatic 7. Oh, to finish. Have I got it? Woo! Again, are you really well forward on that leg? Sweep. So the hard thing in this exercise, well actually, the hard thing, almost about everything in this particular class, is that transferring from 2 legs to 1 leg and then standing on that 1 leg. So what I want you to think about on the second side is at this moment I'm in 5th position, I'm standing cleanly with my axis in the center. So if you could picture the axis going right down through the center of my head, through the center of my nose, and right down into the floor. When I transfer, let's say I'm taking my right foot front, I'm going to do that releve long. Before I lift my leg, I have to change that axis from moving from the center of my face here. I almost like to think of it as moving over, so it's through the center of your eye. So it'll go down through here, through my eye, and then through the ball of my foot. So it's here, and then I go releve long, but before that, shift, so that I'm cleanly able to go up from that point. You could also try and doing the closing your eyes without holding onto the bar. our final exercise of the bar, moving along into grand battement. So for this exercise, this shape of your bar is actually not ideal for what I would like to do because I want to do this with our backs to the bar. So for me, I'm actually going to put my arms slightly behind just here, but if you were at a completely flat surface, let's say I was doing it on my console table and it was a little bit higher, you would have your arms sort of out this way, but without pinching your shoulder blades together. So you want to have as open a collarbone as possible. But I'm going to do it like this. You'll definitely know if you're heaving to the back when you take your grand battement front. So we go 5, 6, 7, 8. Grand battement front. 1 and 2. Hold 3, 4. Again. 5, 6, 7. 3 times in total. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same leg. 5. Plie to a fondue. Close. 7. You might have to adjust. 8. Other leg. 1, a 2. Your leg will go higher, obviously. 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you'll just do a little scooch so your right leg is going to the side. 7, 8. Same thing. 1 closing front. 3, 4. 1 closing back. 7 brushing down into the floor. Brush. 2, 3, 4. A little broken down soutenu. So you rise 5, facing the bar in first, other side in 5th. 8, guess what? Same thing. Side, closing front, side, closing back, side, closing front. And then you can just do this soutenu to finish. Remember, really dig that trench with that foot. 3 times. Side, plie. 5th, a little scooch if you need it. Are your sitting bones facing the floor as you take that grand battement front? Ooh, mine could be better. Fondue, scooch to the side. Side closing front, right leg. Rising up, facing the bar, other side. Ooh, my hips. No death grips on the bar. So I've done it again. I've made an exercise that goes right and left in the same exercise, so you don't have to do it again. Well, I think you probably should, keeping the following thing in mind. I made a point about your sitting bones facing the floor when I was doing grand battement front, because I felt that myself, I was tucking under a little bit. So this is actually a really fundamental thing that I want to talk about in ballet in general. So if you find your sitting bones, roughly where they are, underneath here, if you imagine that both your sitting bones had a laser pointer on them, and then they would be facing the floor with that laser pointing down to the floor at all times. So when you go to the front, you try and keep both those sitting bones facing the floor without letting them follow the same way as your leg. That way your legs can go totally independently of the rest of your body. But that upright pelvis, those laser pointers facing the floor, that will be something that I'll talk about quite a bit. So it's a really good thing to try and get into our bodies now. Now finally, we have a little battement tendu in the center. So starting in 5th or 1st, whatever is comfortable for you, facing the downstage left corner. We go 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, hold 3, little test. 5, 6, arm 7, 8. Again. 1, 2, hold 3, little test. 5, 6, 7, off fast. 1 to the side, 2, 3, little test. 5, 6, arm 7, 8. Same thing again. 1, 2, 3, little test. Close back this time. Turn, arm to the back. 1, 2, hold 3, little test. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, hold 3, little test. 5, 6, turn off fast again. 7, 8 in second. Now we go for a grand plie. 1, feel the rotation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now demi plie. 2, 3, 4, up, 5, 6, take a balance, and 8. And then at the end, we can just test, after the music, a little bit of a twist to the right, and come back to center, and a little bit of a twist to the left, and come back to center, ooh, to finish. Really make sure you stay forward on that leg. After all, that's what we've been working on. Use that moment to breathe out. Try those twists. I think my music is going to continue, but I'll leave it on for you, and then try the other side. This music is lovely. Just try and ignore it. Breathe, and coming down. Before we do our final repetition and give it a go on the other side, my last little pearl of wisdom for the day. So, as you can tell, I love to bash you over the head with a concept. So we can really think again about that lift underneath. Or if you want to think about it another way, imagine you're wearing a kilt. Woo! And you feel a little bit of a breeze on that lift. Yeah, so again, we're still feeling that forward momentum, making sure that we're staying on the ball of that foot at all times. So we're very comfortable to stand on one leg. That's me hitting you over the head with it for this week. Temps du front. Arms up. To the back. no kickstands to the back. Feel those barber pole legs for the last time today. So, thank you everyone. That's it for episode 2 of our Level 1 Advanced Beginner class with me, Ian Parsons. I'm so happy to be able to share these few moments of happiness with you in our own little private dance studios. So, if you don't know, we actually have an entire series of these classes online. I do sort of a Level 1 Advanced Beginner classes on Tuesdays, and then the intermediate class happens on Thursdays. Last week we had the absolutely fantastic Philip Payne, and this coming Thursday we have the wonderfully superb Kate Garrett. So if intermediate is also a bit up your street, I strongly encourage you to check out those classes. Now, we are so overwhelmed by the positive feedback that we've received so far on these classes. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to us. We are continuing to put out all sorts of resources, so please keep checking on the online class adult ballet portal on the website of Canada's National Ballet School, because we have a lot of great resources that we're going to continue churning out for you as long as the circumstances dictate. And finally, for those of you who don't know, Canada's National Ballet School is a charitable organization which tries to bring the power of movement to people no matter what their ability, background, etc. We have such a fantastic array of programming, and it's support from people all over our community that help us to bring the joy of dance to everybody. So if it's within your means, I strongly urge you to consider making a contribution to Canada's National Ballet School so that we can continue bringing all this wonderful material to you. So if you need more information about that, you can go to www.nbs-enb.ca and you can learn all about all our fantastic programs. So that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for joining us again, and I'll hope to see you next time, episode 3. I'll catch you there. Have a great day.